4K60 handheld. That's MBS, and we've got a bit of the CBD. It's against the sun, so you know it's a bit blurred at the back there. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video, I want to share with you a very quick 2-week experience with this guy right here, the Poco F7 Ultra. Now I'm currently here in Singapore to attend the Poco F7 series launch that's happening in a couple of hours. But today's video is going to go through sort of like a 2-week later kind of user experience. I'm not going to go into too many numbers and all that. It's just really going to focus on my thoughts after using this phone. So let's begin the video right away. Now first things first, it's worth mentioning that the price itself is going for $2,699 with vouchers, and guys, I was actually really surprised when I saw the price. Like, this is going to be a proper flagship killer. You are going to be getting the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, which again is only something that you see in a lot of flagships. So just a very quick note in terms of performance. Like I shared in my previous video, the benchmark scores are off the charts. It's even stronger than my Galaxy S25 Plus in certain situations. And in terms of real world use, if you are just buying the phone to use it on a daily, you're multitasking, social media and all that, everything will totally fly because it's just so quick. However, when it comes to gaming, now this is also something that I know a lot of Poco users actually focus on, and in this case, it's also a great experience, guys. I've been gaming so much on the Poco F7 Ultra, and every time it's just one of the best experiences that you can get on any flagship device. So that's just in terms of gaming, but there's also something that I want to mention here, and that's actually the battery life. So just in terms of using it on the daily, I did not have any issues with battery life. But when it came to gaming, I noticed that the battery life actually dropped quite a fair bit compared to my other devices. So I think that there might actually be more optimizations coming on later. But for now, I would say that the battery life is sort of a B, ABC, the kind of B there, and I wish it was a little bit better, but that's just something that I noticed when I was gaming. Now maybe perhaps we should head outside and talk a little bit more about the display as well as the camera, which guys, please do stay tuned for that because it actually exceeded my expectations. Let's head outside right now. Whew. Whoa, look at that, 5 times guys. First things first, let me share with you a little bit about the display. Now the display is actually a pretty good display, and what I like the most here is that not only is it very high resolution, it's also come with those really minimal kind of bezels over all the sides. It's very symmetrical, and I think it's just great if you guys are using it for browsing your content, if you're watching a lot of videos, if you're also playing games. This is a flat display, and I think that actually works out very well. Now the only thing that I wish was a little bit better, everything has got its pros and cons. So the part where I wish where it was a little bit better is in terms of the brightness. Now I noticed that when I was taking photos outdoors, past few days, past few weeks, it actually turned a little bit dimmer after a bit of time. And even when it did not go down in terms of the brightness, it was also not as bright as I hoped, and occasionally I couldn't actually see the display. So yeah, it's a pretty good display here, I would say, just in terms of using it indoors. But outdoors, I wish it was a little bit brighter. So yeah, that's just in terms of the display. Let's go and get some coffee real quick. Alright guys, so I've got my coffee, and yeah, let me just open that real quick. It's super sunny, very hot out, but I'm here to do the video, so let's talk a bit about the Poco F7's camera. Alright, so for the camera itself, I'm actually genuinely surprised at the kind of quality of pictures that we can get from here. Now, on previous Poco devices, it always comes with some pretty substandard kind of cameras, but for this guy here, the F7 Ultra, whoa. Guys, this is actually a pretty good sensor. Now, I would say that the main tip over here is to always try and adjust the exposure when you're shooting the photo, so you can actually get some pretty nice shots. Now, this actually reminded me of those from the Xiaomi 15 series. The kind of photos that you get here are actually very clean. Now, it's also worth highlighting that there's a telephoto lens here. It's a 2.5 times optical zoom. It's not the furthest away, but guys, again, when I just tested it out, taking photos of these buildings at the back, over here and there, the pictures coming off of it, guys, is actually very clean. There were very minimal noise, and again, guys, very impressed with the kind of telephoto shots coming off the F7 Ultra. Now, to be really fair, I've only taken a couple of shots at night. The night photos looks kind of okayish. I would say nothing too out of the ordinary. Still looks good, quite clean, a lot of detail, but just for daytime, during the noon, evening and all that, this is actually a very strong camera. Alright, so let's head back to the hotel because it's getting a bit warm. Woo. Alright guys, so now that we are back in the room, let's talk a little bit more about the design, the build quality and all that. Now the design and the build, is it actually flagship level? I would say the design is kind of subjective because it depends on what kind of design you like. Personally, if I bought a flagship and it looked like this, I would say that it looks a bit more mid-range, to be really honest. So this brings me to my conclusion, guys. What do I finally think about the F7 Ultra? Is it worthy of being called a flagship killer? Now when we talk about the performance, when we talk about the cameras, everything is actually very, very good. I would say that this is actually one of the first Poco devices that I really feel the camera works well. You also get that Snapdragon 8 Elite, very strong performance. Battery life is also okay, like I said earlier on. Display is also okay. The only thing is that the experience with those ads sort of breaks it a little bit. Now, if you only have under 3,000 ringgit, or maybe slightly more than 2.5k ringgit, and you want to get the best performance, the best value for your money, well, I would say that just go ahead and get the Poco F7 Ultra. You won't really regret it. It's a great all-rounder package, and it's the first time I would say that Poco is actually really back into the game here because they are back to bringing those flagship experiences to everybody. Now, let me know what you think about the Poco F7 Ultra. Again, I think I should head out for the launch already. I hope today's video has helped you out in a way or another. Thank you for watching today's video all the way to the end. Don't forget to drop a like, sub to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, bye-bye.